Hi everyone, and welcome back to the VPN Ranks YouTube channel. I'm Hassan, an editor at VPN Ranks and your host for today. Today I'm going to be answering another question that has been popping up quite a lot. Why are more free Wi-Fi hotspots blocking VPNs, and is there any point in using a VPN in these places? In this video, we're about to dive into why these blocks happen, potential workarounds, and explore whether you need a VPN in such a situation. So let's get started. First things first. Many coffee shops, restaurants, and other free Wi-Fi spots aren't necessarily blocking VPNs specifically. Oftentimes, they're only blocking all unknown and unapproved traffic by default, and only allowing what is strictly necessary for their customers, like web browsing, email, and streaming services. From the hotspot owner's perspective, this is their security. The idea of this is to block everything except the traffic that they allow. Unfortunately, this also means that legitimate VPN connections will be blocked in the process too. Now, you might be wondering, why does a coffee shop care that you're using a VPN? Well, one reason is bandwidth and resource usage. If a customer connects to a VPN, sometimes the connection slows down the internet for everyone else. You should also keep in mind that most small businesses don't pay for enterprise-grade internet speeds. Another reason is purely business related. Some places have found that customers that work with VPNs are more likely to linger around while they stream or record content, all while only purchasing perhaps a coffee or two. If the venue has limited seating, these long-term lingerers tend to reduce the overall business's revenue as opposed to bringing more business in. Beyond just bandwidth, there's also the safety and control aspect. Free Wi-Fi providers might want to block certain websites or block potentially risky behavior. VPNs have the ability to bypass these content filters, thereby defeating the whole process and the purpose of protective measures. For example, if a coffee shop wants to block adult content, file sharing, or perhaps any other questionable activity, a VPN will be able to bypass these blocks pretty easily. So by disallowing VPN connections, these business owners are keeping their network environment more secure and more predictable, as opposed to giving leeway for unknown surprises or perhaps headaches in the future when it comes to legal cases. Now, you might say to such a business owner that I use a VPN for privacy and security. Now, that's a valid point, especially if you handle sensitive data over a public Wi-Fi connection. However, you should remember that many of the websites you visit are already encrypted by HTTPS. So for just simple browsing, a VPN might not be giving you that added level of security that you think, particularly if your goal is to avoid snoopers on a public Wi-Fi. That said, if you do have some specific privacy needs, like perhaps connecting to your work Wi-Fi, using a VPN can be very beneficial. The problem is that free hotspot places don't want you using the VPN for the extra layer of encrypted traffic, because it is harder for them to monitor, it is harder for them to filter, and it's harder for them to manage the bandwidth. So what if you truly need a VPN in your case? Well, there are ways to get around those public Wi-Fi blocks. For instance, you can configure your VPN to run on TCP port 443, which is the standard port for HTTPS traffic. This will make it harder for the network to distinguish between your VPN and normal encrypted web browsing. Some people also use additional layers like using S-tunnel or WS-tunnel to disguise their VPN traffic to look like regular internet traffic. This can fool the hotspot's filters into thinking that you're just regular internet traffic. So basically, there are three steps that you need to follow. First, check your VPN's advanced settings for stealth or an obfuscated option. Second, switch to TCP port 443. Lastly, experiment with S-tunnel or WS-tunnel, as well as other layering tools that may be offered by your VPN provider. You should keep in mind, however, that not all VPN providers have these stealth options. Make sure that you explore VPN settings and VPN reviews to discover which ones do have them. One interesting angle that we need to discuss over here is sitting in a coffee shop all day with your laptop and using their free Wi-Fi. Now, if you're taking up a seat, especially for more than a couple of hours at a time, some business owners are bound to resent that, especially if you just order a coffee during that 2 hours. It's not purely about the internet bill, you see, it's also about their business turnover. More customers in seats typically means more revenue, and blocking VPNs can be a subtle way for business owners to discourage people from turning their coffee shop into their personal office. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you come across a Wi-Fi network that blocked your VPN? What was your experience and what did you do for a workaround? Let's talk about this in the comments below. Thank you for watching, folks, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more tech and privacy insights. With that said, it's time to sign off. Bye-bye, and I'll see you in the next one.